Hey everybody, welcome to the 2024 Christmas edition of Thin Blue Whiskey and our recommendations to you for that whiskey lover in your life. And you wonder, what am I going to get them? I want to get them a nice bottle.
We're here to help with that.
We are, because we failed to do the Grinchmas this year. We didn't compile enough 20 and under bottles. And so we decided to kind of flip the page, and we've decided to do some different things that maybe people wouldn't suggest normally, because they're always suggesting the same thing every year. Hey, like my dad.
Yep.
I get my dad a bottle of Woodford Rye because that's what he likes. That's what he likes. And who am I? I've tried to get him into different things, and I've bought different things, and it's always the same. I mean, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just rather have my Woodford Rye.
Take some peg leg porker and see if he scoffs that one.
He would. I guarantee you. I could put it in a Woodford Rye bottle, and he would absolutely love it. But so, oftentimes people are going to suggest the big name brands that are, the Maker's Mark cask strength, Woodford double oaked, Buffalo Trace, some of these bigger distillery names. Obviously, Four Roses.
They're big enough.
That's what we're recommending now. But I will say Four Roses is often overlooked because I don't know why. It is so good, but it's almost kind of the red-headed stepchild to all of the big boys like Buffalo Trace and Heaven Hill and Jim Beam, Wild Turkey. You almost forget Four Roses. And if you were going to come across a limited edition annual release that are very hard to come by, your George T. Staggs and all the fun stuff out of Buffalo Trace and everywhere, if you were actually going to find a limited edition, it might actually be the Four Roses.
Fair enough.
Not here in Kansas.
Yes.
I don't even think it's dropped yet here in Kansas. So don't expect to find shit here. But if you stumble into a big LE annual deal, it may be the Four Roses. Seems to be the most quasi-available across the board. So we're here to talk about a couple of different price points out of Four Roses that are absolutely exceptional. And that is the Four Roses Small Batch Select. Sits on almost every shelf anywhere you go where finer liquors are sold for about $50, $54, $55.
And that's why it sits in that spot. Because I've looked at this before. It sits in that spot not because it's bad whiskey, but because it rides in that it's not expensive enough for people to be like, oh my God, I have to have it. But it's not cheap enough for people that are like, I'm going to go buy this to drink it. It's kind of in its own little market of price point. Like those $60 whiskeys, that's why we have a box of them.
Yeah.
Where they just kind of collected dust on some shelves.
Yeah.
Well, and the way that I shop, that bottle always sits next to 2 or 3 cheaper versions of Four Roses next to it.
Right there.
So...
But $55 is a good price point when you're looking at gifting your dad, your son,
for that special
person,
whiskey lover in
husband.
Your life. Yeah, right. We like stuff too.
Or my wife drinks whiskey now, so.
Oh, see,
you could get her that bottle for Christmas.
Double trouble.
The other price point, and a little bit harder to find, we tried to keep most of these relatively available. Now, the Four Roses Single Barrel Select store picks, the private selections, these things have been freaking everywhere in Kansas this year, specifically around Wichita and Kansas City. It seemed like
Lawrence
there were
had
a ton, huh?
Lawrence had that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
They've been all over. Salina hasn't got any, but they have been around, and I have bought multiples of them, and they are always awesome. This particular one is from Bubbles Wine and Spirits in Kansas City, aged 11 year, 2 month, coming in at 110 proof, 111 proof. These are always amazing. I picked this particular one for this review specifically because we decided, I don't know, a few weeks ago or a couple months ago that this was awesome. So if you are lucky enough to stumble in to one of these, I would highly suggest this as a possible alternative to a Four Roses
Thank you, sir.
gift if you are open to spending $100 or $110.
There you go. Cock it.
If you can find them for less than that, they used
yeah.
to be like $75, $80, and now
Well,
I
feels
like
like-
everything.
well,
That's
so did
a-
Booker's, so did, I mean,
Yeah, that's a
and
common
when I
one.
say it used to be $75, $80, I mean 4 years ago.
mhm. Yeah.
I mean, it's not that long. We're not
Yeah,
that far removed from it.
And 50% in 4 years is pretty shitty.
The whiskey, connoisseur is blowing up.
Bless. That small batch select.
That smells good. I like it.
104 proof.
About 104 versus 111
Yeah.
out there.
That is those little caramel vanilla soft chews.
Yep.
Candies.
And just a good, obviously we're talking Christmas. We're talking kind of sweet treat season.
Yeah.
This falls right in line.
There's a little bit of a herbal bready thing. And I hate these things, but I don't know why I find this appealing. But it's almost like those cream cheese wedding mints. There's like just a tiny little like a.
God, it's
Do you-
been forever
do you
since
see what
I've
I'm-
had one of them.
It's almost on the verge of bready, but it's. And I hate wedding mints.
They're terrible.
I won't touch them.
That's a tradition we probably need to scrap.
That and those little peanut candies at Halloween.
Yeah. Don't be that house.
Michael likes candy corn, though. Send all the
Oh
candy corn.
God. I will eat a little candy corn with peanuts because I love Payday candy bars.
Correct, yes. I agree with you on that one, but I hate candy corn.
Yes, I do too.
Oh,
Everybody does.
Oh dear
highest
Lord, that's
selling
good.
candy, though.
That store pick from Bubbles is still absolute
it
fire.
smells and tastes so good. It's hard to go wrong. We talked about it before with the Four Roses kind of label. The super cheap stuff, you get what you pay for. As you go up in their selections, it just gets better and better and better. So
There's a little bit of an earthy sweetness here. Honeysuckle, but the flavor ramped way up.
Yeah, you get away from some of the caramel and the vanilla.
Yeah,
from-
if you could say a brown sugar honeysuckle, there just seems to be a little bit of a, I won't say floral, because sometimes I get floral with Four Roses. It's not really floral, but there is a bit of an earthy type of sweetness. Maybe like a smelling the honeycomb straight out of a box with bees flying around.
You paint a picture with your words, Michael. Yeah, I don't know.
Imagine it like Tommy Boy.
Yeah.
Your head's the one with the shell on it. Man, I have like
There-
11 bottles of different Four Roses private selections, and that is
That's pretty
one
damn good.
of the best, if not the best, that I own.
When I look at them, if we're, we're not really comparing these two against each other, but it's 1 and 1A. They're perfect gifts if that price point
Yes, fits
works
your
for
budget.
your person that you're providing it for, or if you're dropping hints that you want somebody to buy it for you.
I will say that if they're not into bourbon,
Don't go
like greatly, don't get the store picks
Yeah.
because they're a little sharp. Like
Yeah.
this one has some more. It's got more nuances of just a little more sharpness. That I'd go
Yeah.
the small batch.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad. It's a great whiskey. It's amazing.
It's
just
a bit. It's
if
dusty.
you're not into whiskeys, if you're not ready for that kind of, it's like, oh, that's good, and it gets kind of bitey and then goes away. That might be off-putting to someone that's like, no thanks.
Yeah, I don't want to turn them away if they're just
Yeah.
kind of beginning their whiskey journey.
There is a bit of a spice. There's definitely a baking spice on it. There's a bit of a a dusty funk in a good way. It's not the wet grain that we all hate. It's the dusty corn, dusty grain.
You slam the old door on the farm truck.
Yep.
Got that smell. Mm-hmm.
But minus the funk. That's a pretty important kind
Yeah.
of line to draw, because every one of us, well, most of the time, when we get into that, where it's like a wet grain bin, we lose.
No bueno.
Where you see all like the little sprouts out of all the corn, you're like,
Yeah. We don't recommend
bad.
those to too many people, yeah.
So that's going to do it for the Four Roses. Definitely check it out. They do have an even cheaper version of the small batch for, God, I think it's up to 35 or 40.
It's
just
almost
for the
40.
Small
'Cause
batch
I think I just
now.
bought one the other day. It's
They,
40 bucks.
They still have an ultra inexpensive yellow yellow top or whatever. I would steer
Dodge
clear.
that one. Yeah. Mm-mm.
This is a gift.
Yeah. Don't be cheap.
Yeah, don't let them walk into the liquor store and they're like, oh, they got me this bottle, and you go get another one. They're like,
Well, that's what I'm worth.
$18.
Show them how much you really love them this holiday season.
Yeah. That's right. Either one of these, exceptional, totally different price points, different availabilities depending on your area. Again, this is almost never available until this year. And then all of a sudden, it seems like every store in Kansas or at least in the immediate area within a couple hours from here got a store pick. So it was super fun. I just started hoarding them. It was great. So there you go. There you have it. 2 new suggestions. Like and subscribe. Let us know what you think. Do you like this suggestion? And if not, let us know what you would suggest in place of the Four Roses. And we'll see you next time right here at Thin Blue Whiskey.